When you look back across the history of esports, it's incredible to think how far we've actually come. We've gone from duking it out side by side in packed, sweaty arcades to beating the crap out of each other at equally stinky convention centers. We've arisen from the niche primordial grime of glorified LAN parties to behold sold-out arenas losing their minds at jumping no-scopes. Of course, for us, it's easy to take all of this for granted, since that's just how esports is now. But for the early pioneers of competitive gaming, it must be tough to look at esports today and see the spoils of their labor being enjoyed by a new generation of fans who may not even know who they are. Now, fortunately, a lot of these trailblazers have been able to stay connected to esports by getting into some form of coaching, commentating, or adjacent business ventures. But there are a select few who have been able to keep their legacies alive by continuing to compete at the highest level. And sure, they may not be regularly hoisting silverware anymore, but they've proven time and time again that they can still hang with the kids.
There's no cover. The AK's ready!
Oh my days!
2 headshots in like 4 bullets. That's what you want. That's why he's Forest.
But in the case of Eric Snipe Down Rona, one of the greatest console FPS players to ever live, it's not just about participating for pride. He's not interested in passing on the torch to the next generation. No, he wants to light them on fire with it.
Yep, open it. Oh my god!
Somehow, 13 years after kickstarting his esports career with Halo, Snipedown now finds himself more popular and relevant than ever, despite being in what many would consider to be his twilight years. So how is it that this OG MLG superstar was able to revitalize his competitive gaming career in the aftermath of Halo esports taking a nosedive in popularity? Why does he still insist on wielding a controller to clap cracked mouse and keyboard using kitties in Apex Legends? And more importantly, with more than a decade of tournament experience under his belt, where does he find the drive to continue to compete?
I don't have a gun.
Oh, he got it.
I'm gonna die. Oh my god! I'm fucking goated! Oh my god! Someone has to clip that, dude.
Okay, so before we dive into Snipedown, I'm gonna ask that you please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. There's a lot more Apex Legends content coming down the belt, and it would be great if you could help your boy out with that wonky-ass YouTube algorithm. Alright, so if you're not familiar with the ageless killing machine who goes by the name of Snipedown, we got a lot of ground to cover. When he's not getting berated by his teammate, Imperial Hal, you can find him enjoying the great outdoors.
I just had to show you guys this.
Teaching his doting partner Snipe wife how to frag out on stream.
Okay, now. Let's go! Let's go!
Or making a big fuss over his trusted canine companion, Chiefers.
Buddy, I'm tired. You wanna go lay down with me?
Wake me when you need me.
Snipedown's esports career spans over 10 years, but he first discovered his love for video games and first-person shooters, specifically with GoldenEye on the N64. However, it was after he was introduced to the original Halo on Xbox by some friends that Snipe realized his enjoyment of the genre was matched by his talent.
I didn't own an Xbox or play Halo or anything, and I was the third best person there behind the 2 people that played like consistently every day. And they were shocked, basically forced my parents to get me a Xbox after that, and they deemed me the natural.
From there, the Natural rebranded himself as Snipedown. and the skill he had with his rifle namesake followed him to Halo 2 and Halo 3. Now, when I say that Snipe is an OG, it's no exaggeration. He started playing Halo professionally in 2008, a time when Nintendo Wii games were topping the sales charts, BlackBerry phones were still cool, and people threw shoes to demonstrate their frustration.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
This was the golden age of Halo competition. Major League Gaming events, Dr. Pepper sponsorships, and legendary team names like Straight Rippin'. And it didn't take long for this 18-year-old from Zionsville, Indiana to break into Halo 3 esports in a big way, winning his first major event at MLG Orlando with Triggers Down that year.
Big training. I can't. He's going up top of the yellow. And there's the no-scope on Neighbor. Cleans it up nicely with that battle rifle.
You know, winning my first event is always just something I'll remember. I was playing out of my mind that event. Luck was on my side. I would throw a sticky nade across the map and I would catch a foot.
Snipe quickly established himself as one of Halo's fiercest competitors. But unlike players who'd made names off their mechanical mastery, he had a more cerebral approach to the game. One that prioritized smart and aggressive positioning over raw aim.
I was never the most talented mechanical player. I never had the best movement. I had solid movement. I could get around the map smoothly, but I never was standout movement. This guy's insane on this end, but I always out-positioned my opponents. And that is up here. That doesn't have anything to do with my individual shots.
Nice, no, and his stereo is kind of weak.
And backside, side corner, top camo. One shot, top, I think there's...
Top camo weak.
I got him.
Top
One
camo
shot, top
weak.
camo, top
Top
yellow.
camo weak.
Top center. There's a guy top tree.
Nice.
On the glass.
Snipe 2.
Side two.
Oh my God. It's going nuts, buddy.
Over the course of Snipedown's Halo career, he played alongside some of the scene's best ever players, and thanks to his ability to communicate effectively while fragging out, he was able to win event after event.
Eric's always been an exceptional talent. He's incredibly skillful with his shots, incredibly bright decision making, and what it takes to win in game. He's always been a very coveted teammate. People want to team with him. People know you can rely on him and count on him to come out and win.
But as much as Snipe was relishing his successes, things weren't looking quite so rosy for Halo. With seemingly every new iteration of the franchise disappointing the community, the competitive scene began waning in popularity, and with it, Snipedown's interest. He dabbled for a while in Call of Duty, went back to Halo 5, and briefly returned to Halo 3, but things just weren't the same. At 28 years of age, Snipedown found himself at a crossroads. He could either wait for the release of Halo Infinite, or find a new way to compete and create content. And in February of 2019, he found it.
This is my favorite part. Exciting.
Apex Legends was perfect for Snipedown. Unlike the majority of Battle Royale titles out there at the time, the game had movement and weaponry closer to that of a classic arena shooter. It also had controller support, a must for any Halo veteran who preferred to get cracked on the sticks. And Snipe's signature brand of crispy aim, canny positioning, and well-timed aggression fit Apex like a glove.
Coming.
30. Nice, last guy. 79. Last guy. Got him. Nice, right? You drop on him. There's a whole race. Then, two left. 46. 48. 60. All dead. Okay, go res. Rat or no res? Yeah. No, kill the other guys first. Nice. Good shit, boys. Good shit.
Snipe entered competitive Apex as a member of Team Reciprocity, the organization that he had joined in early 2018 as part of their Halo roster. Although he was initially trying to compete in both games throughout 2019, by 2020, he was apologizing for skipping out on Halo events to prioritize Apex. Wow! After some initially disappointing results with Reciprocity, Snipedown joined forces with Rogue at NAALGS Online 4, where he showed everyone that he wasn't anywhere near washed up.
I got a nade on them. Well, broken, bro. I got one.
Nice. We should push this. We should push this. Dave. No bubble. No bubble. Nade spam.
Yeah, I'm pushing. Another 92.
Wait, push out on front.
Got two.
He's trying to res. 100 on him.
All dead, all dead. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
72 on him. Nice. One more there, I think. One more there, yeah.
Got him.
But after a couple of months of playing with Rogue, an even bigger opportunity presented itself with Team Solo Mid. Now, TSM wasn't some minor player in Apex. Their team had been one of the scene's earliest success stories. It's just that after a thrilling honeymoon period, it became clear that they needed to shake things up. And with Abralelli choosing to step back from their lineup, TSM saw Snipedown as a perfect replacement to slot in alongside Reps and the high energy, always verbal Imperial Hal.
What the f are you doing?
But Snipe brought more than just raw aim. He brought a veteran perspective and a refusal to keep quiet about his opinion, even when things got a little bit spicy.
3, 2, 1. Whoa. I'm definitely perspiring from everywhere on my head.
Not that kind of spicy.
Right, man, like, you need to realize where we're at.
Bro, no offense. How do you not have any batteries after that fucking fight?
There's no batteries! You guys took them all!
You gotta tell us that then.
But on a team with Hal and Reps, a team this verbal, it worked. The constant sharing of viewpoints and sometimes arguing led to wins. For a veteran like Snipedown, who was raised in the boisterous, banter-filled Halo community, it felt like business as usual.
People think we like hate each other or something. Like we're literally just passionately talking about it. Not like I'm taking anything to heart.
And even Abralelli, who decided to dip his toes in Valorant, said that the fit made sense.
Honestly, I think Snipe does a better job than like I could have done. I genuinely believe that Snipe is a better fit for that team in general than I am. I genuinely believe that this iteration of the TSM roster is the best version. And that's not discrediting myself or like anything like that. I just genuinely believe that he has better chemistry with the team.
But, like I mentioned earlier, Snipe isn't just a great player. He's a great controller player in a game that pits stick flickers and mouse pushers against each other. And that's a challenging dynamic that he has come to relish. But in the Apex community, well, let's just say there are mixed feelings about controller players, specifically when it comes to the advantages they enjoy, such as aim assist.
The biggest issue with this game is like majority of the fights in it are all close range or close or medium range. They're, like you can get knocks past like, you know, long range and shit like that on mouse and key, but there's no like kill potential unless you're like pretty like basically within aim assist range.
And being that Snipe is the highest profile controller player out there, he receives his fair share of criticism for his peripheral of choice. But he's been quick to fire back at those claiming that he's playing the game in easy mode.
Alright, first off, I'm using a gold stabilizer here. Everyone knows the carbine is very accurate. I'm gonna aim right here and I won't touch my joystick. Like you can see me moving it in the bottom right. So, you see that? Boy, aim assist is so strong in Apex, dude. It's almost as if the game shoots for me. And I don't have to control any recoil. Can you believe that, guys? Holy shit, dude.
Now, regardless of whichever device he chooses to clap cheeks with, at 30 years of age, most people would look at Snipedown and say that he's in his twilight years. But the fact that he's still finding success on one of the best Apex teams in the world hasn't just kept him relevant, it's helped him become more popular now than ever before. And interestingly, that popularity has expanded even to Japan, where he gets twice as much viewership as he does in North America. Snipedown's so big in Japan that he's even started providing Japanese subtitles on all of his new videos. For a country that bought one Xbox for every 40 PlayStations, it's definitely strange that an OG Halo veteran would be exploding in popularity in 2021. But maybe that's what Snipe's story can teach us about esports. It's extremely difficult to reach the top in any major title, and it's even harder to stay there. And once you've reached the summit and descended from it, it can be tempting to move on from competition and reinvent yourself in another role. But for Snipedown, that was never on the agenda. He's been able to effectively adapt his methodical fragging philosophy to an entirely new competitive arena. And despite being significantly older than the average esports competitor, he isn't just happy to be along for the ride. He's still killing it. And in a frantic, fast-paced FPS like Apex, that makes Snipedown an outlier, although he doesn't necessarily see himself that way.
Getting older and becoming like a worse gamer, in my opinion, is they're not correlated as much as people think they are. I don't think I've lost the individual skill. I think I've gotten smarter. If anything, I'm more tactical when it comes to how to win as a team. So I think if anything, like gaming IQ has gone up immensely from where I started to where I am now. Maybe a little bit of individual skill has fallen off slightly, but not enough to notice or hinder me as a player.
Snipedown is a shining example of what happens when motivation isn't just a tool, but the roaring engine that's sending you barreling down your career path. It's stoked with the fire of every win and oiled with the lessons of every defeat. And while it's not possible to know for sure if the road ahead includes a full-time return to Halo once Infinite finally lands, one thing seems clear. Snipedown ain't slowing down anytime soon.
Snipedown is like a Halo legend, right? Like he's really good in Halo, or is he just really good at console games? He's a Halo legend. We're fucked.
No one clip that. No one clip that, please.
I'm gonna grab that guy's sniper. He's before the sniper.
One shot on bridge. Perfection, baby!
Wait, you didn't die?
I didn't die.
If there's any guy in the history of Counter-Strike, any Counter-Strike, who just like flicks a switch and rolls back the years, it's Forrest. It's not even that he's like good for his age. It's like, he's just good. He's just still very good. I fucking pray that I can be like a modicum, just even like slightly as cracked as he is by the time I'm over the age of 30, which isn't that far away. TSM FTX, is that what they're called now? TSM FTX? I'm not calling them that.